Welcome to The Explainer. What if AI didn't just change the job market? What if it pretty much erased it? Today, we're diving into a pretty shocking prediction from one of the world's leading AI experts about the future of work and the 5 lone professions he believes might just survive the coming wave. Let's get into it.
So I want you to just think about this number for a second. 99%. Nope, that is not a typo. According to AI safety pioneer Dr. Roman Yampolskiy, this is the level of unemployment we could be facing as AI automates nearly every single job out of existence. And look, we're not talking about some far-off sci-fi future here. He forecasts this massive job displacement could begin as soon as 2027. I mean, that's just around the corner. And the scariest part? This is all predicted to happen before a true, godlike superintelligence even shows up on the scene. So you're probably thinking, how on earth could that happen? And who is this guy making such a shocking prediction? Let's dive in and really unpack the science behind this coming storm. Yeah, so this prediction isn't coming from just some random person on the internet. It's from Dr. Roman Yampolskiy, a computer science professor who has been deep in the trenches of AI risk research for almost 2 decades. I mean, he is literally one of the intellectual architects of the entire field of AI safety. So yeah, when he talks, people in the know, they listen. So what's really driving this wild prediction? Well, it all boils down to this huge and, frankly, terrifying imbalance that's growing right at the heart of AI development. Okay, so picture this. On one side, you've got AI capabilities just skyrocketing, right? Growing exponentially, smarter, faster, more powerful every single day. But on the other hand, our ability to actually control it, AI safety, that's just inching forward. It's growing linearly. He describes it perfectly. It's like we're trying to build a bicycle brake for a rocket ship. And to really get a sense of just how powerful that rocket is, we gotta understand what we're building. First up, we have narrow AI. This is the stuff we already have all around us today. It's an AI that's an absolute genius at one specific thing. Think of Google's AlphaFold, which can figure out complex protein structures way better than any human scientist. It's an incredible tool for sure, but it's a specialist. But the next step, that's artificial general intelligence, or AGI. Now, think of an AI that isn't just a specialist, it's a generalist. It can learn and perform hundreds of different intellectual tasks, kind of like a human can. And Yampolskiy points out that some of the top models we have today are already starting to blur those lines, looking a lot like the very early stages of this kind of intelligence. And then there's the end game, superintelligence. Okay, this is a whole different beast. We're talking about a system so smart it can improve itself over and over, becoming smarter and smarter at a speed we literally can't even process. It would be an intellect that's just vastly more intelligent than all of humanity combined. And at that point, any idea of human control, that pretty much goes out the window. Okay, so if 99% of jobs are on the chopping block, who's left standing? It's a scary thought, right? Well, in the middle of all this potential chaos, Dr. Yampolskiy points to 5 lighthouses in the storm, 5 roles he thinks are uniquely built to survive. And here they are. You've got AI safety researchers, ethicists and philosophers, high-level policymakers, creative artists, and religious or spiritual leaders. Now, what's so fascinating about this list? Most of these aren't super technical jobs. The resilience doesn't come from coding skills. It comes from tapping into something that AI just doesn't have, our messy, complicated, deep humanity. Let's dig into why. Right, so this is the key question. Why these jobs? What exactly makes them so defensible against a machine that's smarter than us in almost every other way? Let's tackle the first 3, which are all about keeping things in check, control and oversight. First, you need AI safety researchers. Why? Because you can't trust the AI to safely contain itself. That's like asking the fox to guard the henhouse. It's a paradox. Then you've got ethicists and philosophers. They provide the moral compass. Because an AI can follow rules, sure, but it can't have real wisdom, the kind that only comes from living with the consequences of your choices. And finally, high-level policymakers. We need them to govern this tech, because setting the rules for our society has to be tied to human values, not just optimizing for some cold logical output. And Yampolskiy is not mincing words here. He basically says that these policymakers are our last line of defense against some industry leaders who are, and this is his quote, gambling 8 billion lives on getting richer by just racing ahead without thinking about the consequences. Now, the last 2 roles on the list, they survive for a totally different and maybe more profound reason. First, creative artists. They give us authentic expression.
I mean, an AI can analyze every painting ever made, but it can't replicate the soul that comes from a unique human life, the joy, the pain, the struggle. And then you have spiritual leaders. They offer us guidance, helping us find meaning and purpose when it feels like the whole world is being turned upside down. These are fundamental human needs that an AI might be able to simulate, but it can never ever truly fulfill. And this quote about art just nails it. AI is built for optimization, right? For getting the perfect result every time. But the value of human art is often in its imperfection. It's that unscripted, rebellious spark from one person's unique experience that gives it meaning. That's something an AI can only ever copy. It can't create it from scratch.
Okay, so all of this brings us to the final section, and to be honest, the ultimate stakes for our future. Because this really isn't just about jobs anymore. This is about our survival. And Dr. Yampolskiy is, well, he's not an optimist. He's deeply concerned, warning that the number of ways this could go catastrophically wrong, we're talking engineered pandemics, autonomous weapons, you name it, is almost infinite. Meanwhile, the number of ways it could go right? Very, very small. The risks, he says, could actually be worse than nuclear war.
So what do we do? What's the answer? In his view, the only responsible thing to do is to hit the pause button on this race to superintelligence, to protest, to demand that we focus on ethics and safety first, and to make absolutely certain that we, humanity, stay in the driver's seat of our own destiny.
And that really brings us to the final and most important takeaway from all this. The arrival of a world-altering superintelligence, it's not some inevitable force of nature like gravity. It's a choice. It's a choice that we are all making right now with every new model we build and deploy. So the real question isn't what the machines will do to us, it's what we will choose to do with them.